Um, my second one is if you can go back in time and tell yourself, your younger coach Mike self, a piece of advice, what advice would you tell your younger self?
Oh man, now I know what I feel like to be in your shoes in
It's
these
hard. That's a
interviews.
hard question.
Yeah, it is a hard question. Um, I battled actually the question that was proposed to you by the coach. I battled the doubt of the ability to take someone to the next level. So I had a lot of people in my life, and I don't think they were necessarily aware, but I had a lot of people that would ask, like, why are you doing what you're doing? And yeah, so that really affected my mentality because that would then change my mood when I would go training or go to games, my interaction with parents. Um, your dad actually has been a big influence on my ability to regulate or ask myself great questions in terms of my emotions. Um, so because I had such doubt from people who were close to me, there were many times that I almost just completely stopped. And so it just took like the inner self belief to continue and to slowly just surround myself by those who believed in me. And I know you remember Samson being around at the club, but if it wasn't for Samson, I wouldn't be anywhere near the kind of coach that I am today. And he was around me at the age of 25, and I used to go to his office once a week and break down film. And he had a projector, and he would throw it up on like um, a drywall, and just it was like Champions League. I remember it was like Chelsea too, and he just broke it down. And because you can see the game through how you see it, but then seeing it from someone who's coached at the highest levels possible, not just once but twice, um, you just see it now from a whole different point of view. And the one thing that Steve always did was, he encouraged the coaches that were around him to be yourself, be who you are, but yes, like soak it in from others. And again, I go back to your dad. Like I remember your dad asked me a great question one day, and I was like, man, he's so right. Like if I'm being honest, if I'm being like, objective about everything, like yeah, like that's a very true, question that he asked me, and I was like, okay. So yeah, struggling with belief, which is interesting because obviously as you do anything in life, like you have to have belief that you can be successful or that you can get better or that you can achieve something. So someone who is, coaching or in a coaching role, like now it's like, yeah, I can take someone to the next level as long as they have the appetite. Yeah, I can definitely help them. I'm not perfect, and I encourage them to take resources from everywhere. But at the same time, yeah, I struggled a lot with that. Big time. Big time. Yeah.
That's crazy to hear, Mike, because
Yeah.
you by far just were the best coach that I ever had. And to hear that you doubted yourself is just absolutely mind blowing to me because of how great of a coach I viewed you as is just wow, it makes me feel like you're human too, because I've always thought you're like a super coach. Like
No, definitely not. No, far, far from that. I mean, I appreciate you saying all that, and trust me, like that's one of the gifts that I'm getting out of doing these interviews, even though I'm doing it for others to listen from people's experiences, is like I can learn things from you that I didn't know. Because once you go off to college, there's a huge separation.
yeah.
Like, because at least when you were still playing locally, like the high school game or going to your graduation or like whatever the case may be, like you're able to be involved. But then like when you go off to college, like, and if the coach is still coaching, they have two or three teams, they're doing private trainings and they have their personal life. And so it's difficult. But the one thing I do really value is the relationships that I've had, not just, overall, but especially like with you and your family. And what's beautiful about it, Camille, is that like they're never perfect. Like there's a lot of hard conversations But at the end of the day, it's like we always want what's best for each other. Like, and we're always gonna be there. I mean, I just carried your bag for 16 dang holes at what was it? Somewhere what's the golf course in Oxnard called?
River Ridge.
River Ridge. Like the minute I had the chance to see you, I was like, yeah, let's go. And then like, yeah, like carrying like that was like me giving back to you based on like just everything that you probably don't know that you've contributed to making me probably want to continue coaching. That's like a small, I mean, I can never repay you for, you know, everything that we've been through and what we're going to be going through going forward in life, because you'll definitely be at my wedding that hopefully will happen one day as a 34-year-old, which is crazy because a lot of players are now married and have kids.
Oh
So
gosh,
that's even
crazy.
more wild.
Yeah.
So got any more? Because those are some good questions, man. Like I feel like now you're me. Like you're switching it up, really good.